Hey there, folks. Foggy here. Welcome to day 215 of my year of solo board gaming, considered by many to be ill-advised and stupid. We are playing the last special expansion in the Lost Expedition expansion pack, The Fountain of Youth and Other Adventures, this being the Fountain of Youth. And I'm not sure how we're going to compete with yesterday's victory. That's right. I won a game of Lost Expedition. Neener. However, today we're going to try again and hopefully not do horribly. We have the all-female, the distaff version of the group, Isabel, Inez, and Bessie. We've got our bullets, we've got our food. It does recommend that you actually use one of the new companions, but we're doing this solo with just the Fountain of Youth component before we try to do anything else. And the Fountain of Youth is about 12 cards, I think, total, that form a series of, like, a little adventure in and of themselves. And they're identified by the skull as well as the 0.5 there, easily identifying which cards have been added. I also think that they're slightly darker. Something I noticed, I'm not sure if you can even see this on screen, this is not the same color as this. This is a darker color. So that may be a bit of a tip-off as to what's coming our way. However, since I don't know what's in the cards, it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and start off with, we're in the morning, so we're going to pull out two cards originally. We're going to get 10 and 12, which actually has a nice combination because 10 and 12, you'll basically get to skip this one. The problem is I'd really like some stuff before 10, because it's 2 plus health, and we haven't been hurt yet. So that's a bit of a bummer. The Bakari ants. I think I'm going to go Bakari and ants, and the reason is that ants allows you to skip 2 cards, and you can choose to give up a health in exchange for 2 food, but you're not required to. And so one more card that we're going to add is insects. That'll go at the end here, very thematically related. And then we can put any of these in here. I feel like the one that we want to put in here is Raid, because it is the most universally, it is, of the cards that I have remaining, it's the one that's the harshest, and I'm going to be skipping over that. So, but this is our morning adventure. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to skip right away. There's no point in healing because you can't heal above the 3, I don't believe. I'm going to just check that real quick. As far as I know, you can't go over 3. Like, that's just not doable. Yeah, as far as I know, that'd be helpful if this were easily identified. Each explorer cannot go above 4 health. Okay, so we could. Not a horrible idea. Essentially, Inez would be giving up 1 leaf. We'll go ahead and give Inez that back. Basically, she spotted a leaf that was really helpful, so she's now at 4, which I think the only time I've ever been above. And then we're putting a new thing on the end there, which is not looking good. All right, we do skip this. We go straight to the Bakari. The Bakari can do a couple things, but pretty much they want some food. And that means that we're going to get a house later on. We can go ahead and give up 1 health, which we will do on this ants one, in exchange for 2 food, because that is actually a really good trade-off, I think. All right, and then that will go here. We get to skip these 2, and then we're left with this nasty little business. So we're going to go ahead and go with this first one, since we have to lose health anyway. Bessie will give up some health here. And since we already have the extra house now, but we also have to give up a bullet, which really sucks. And that will allow us to move 1 forward, and we're on our way. All right, so now we go to the evening phase. We have to give up 1 food for the evening. We're going to start by putting something in the... I'm just going to go ahead and put this here, and then I'll probably just try to keep that at the front. Actually, you know what? Let's change that. Let's put Poisonous Frog here and we can build around that. Deserted Outpost, I'd like to make sure either stays up front or at the end. One of the two. Let's see, we get 33.5 is Hunted. We will either have to give up 1 food and 1 health, or we lose somebody. So that's a good one to skip. I think we're going to put that one right after Poisonous Frog. We've got Kapak here, where we can trade food for a house, and I'm not sure that's really that good of an idea. I think what we're then going to do is we're going to go this last, because I do think giving up a bullet for food is going to be helpful, since this is going to allow us to get 2 foods. The next card here is the Zing Cow, and this is looking nasty. We're going to put this all the way at the end. That's going to be a tough one to really figure out what we want to do. All right. Actually, I think I know what we want to do. All right. So first up, Deserted Outpost. We're going to add another card to the end here. But more importantly, we're going to get 2 bullets in return. We could also get some health and a house, but I feel like what we need are the bullets. We're then going to go here. We're going to have to trade in 1 food no matter what. And we are going to get 1 house in return. Plus, we can also give up 1 health from Isabel, and we're going to go ahead and do that to get rid of 1 card off the end of the path. Now, what's kind of frustrating is I was really hoping to take this card off the end of the path, not this card. This card doesn't seem... This card's just annoying. It's like you lose a leaf, and that's it. And you can do that twice. But we also get a health back. That's the important thing. So, yay. Over here, we're going to have Poisonous Frog. We're going to lose 1 health. We'll lose it off Inez. We could also trade 1 of this for a leaf, and I don't feel like that's a very good trade, but we do get to skip this. And that's the important thing. We're now on Leaf, where we're going to use a bullet. We're on Panther, Black Panther, I should say. We're going to get some food, and then we have a leaf to work with. And then finally, I think the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to give up 2 health, which seems pretty extreme, but the fact that we actually get to go down the path here, I think is very helpful. And that is the end of the evening phase, so we'll trade in 1 of these. We've now got a leaf and 2 houses extra. Like, it's just insane how much extra we've got. So let's take, we're going to switch over to morning. I'm going to take 6 cards here. And then deal out 2 to form the path. We got Spoiled Meat and we got Progress. Progress looks like a good one, especially because Isabel looks like she can handle it. I'm going to slide these over just a little bit so we have some space here. Let's make some room, folks. Make some room. There we go. I'm a little worried about food, since that monkey wants to steal our food. We do have vampire bats, and the vampire bats, I think, are... We definitely want to do vampire bats. It'll give us a chance to use 1 of our houses, and we'll get some food out of it. The Bushmaster, I'm not wild about. The Bushmaster feels to me like that could be really bad. I wouldn't mind something that would allow me to skip here. I think I'm going to go with Ruins. It's a tough call. Both of these are basically going to allow me to go 1 more forward, and we are having difficulty with that. But I do like the fact that Progress, if I decide not to go forward, I could use this leaf one over here to get 2 food, or I could just simply heal somebody. Like, that is something that you don't really see that often. All right, so we're going to draw another card. We've got Dehydration, and I think that makes my last choice pretty easy. We're going to go Thunderstorm right there, and then that'll allow me to skip. All right, so first we're going to come across Vampire Bats. That gives us a food, but then we have to give up a house or 2 health, and we'll give up a house. And now the really difficult challenge here. The really difficult challenge is that do I want to get some more food, or do I want to keep walking down the path? My concern is that Isabel's pretty low on health. I feel like even though the priority is move down the path, it is such a tough choice. We're going to do it. We're going to trade the leaf for 2 food. Because I don't think I'm getting down the path anytime soon. It's a horrible decision on my part, probably. All right, so we're going to trade 1 food. We have to get rid of all this. And then we can choose to give up 1 more food plus the other house. And we do get to go 1 spot down the path at least. Finally, we're going to skip 2, and then we have a house or health that we lose. We'll lose Bessie, since those are both hers. And that is the end of the evening. So we're going to trade up 1 more food, and we got 3 bullets and 2 food. Hoorah. All right. So next up, we're going to put this out. No, I keep making this mistake. What I think I want to do is I want to have something that I can actually build around first. So first up, we're going to get Peccary. Peccary is amazing. And allows us to skip that. So I think that is what we want to do there. We've then got Taparape. And I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to build out this way. Yeah. And then this last one is trade 1 food, add 1 to the end. Trade 1 food and trade 1. I think we're going to put this down at the end. All right. So first up, we got the Bushmaster. We're going to go ahead and shoot the Bushmaster. That gives us 1 food. We're immediately going to trade that food in for our monkey here. And that monkey we're immediately going to trade in for 1 travel forward. So those 3 cards basically got us 1 forward. We don't even get to keep the food. Next up, we've got this lovely compass. And we have to choose one of these. We're going to choose a bullet to get us 2 more food. But we get a compass out of this, which is nice. And we actually get to skip this. And then finally, when we get to the end here, we can do a couple things. We can add on 1 more card if we wanted to. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to trade this compass here for a compass and a food and get 1 more down the path. So now we're 3 away from the end. We've barely had any experience with the fountain. I will say this is a bit of a surprise. And that was the evening phase. I forgot to turn that over. And then... did I just stupidly throw... oh, I got rid of 1 food because of there. We're at the end of the evening phase, so we're going to throw 1 more food away. We're at the start of the morning phase now. We're on day 3, which is... we've lasted quite a while. Famous last words. All right, we got Nightshade, we got Swarm, we got Leeches, we got Thick Fog, we got Clearing, and we've got Amanaye. Good old Amanaye. All right, first 2 cards that we're coming out with. Piranhas and Old Pathway. And Old Pathway should go here. All right, so now we need to get 3 forward, right? Old Pathway is going to allow us to go 1 forward. Easy peasy. Piranhas, we can throw 2 food at and then have that taken care of. We also kind of need 2 food to throw at Amanaye. And I think I need the Clearing. So what we're going to do is, and this is horrible because we're going to lose Bessie as part of this process, but I think we're going to do it like this. We're going to add these 2 here. We're going to add 1 more card. It's Vantage Point. Doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and throw Leeches on the end. And I think we might actually get our second victory in 2 games. First, we're going to trade in the camping one. I'm sorry, Bessie. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. We're going to get 2 food out of this. We're going to go continue down the path. We're going to add 1 more card to the end of this. Again, doesn't really matter. There's De Oriana. Nasty looking guy. But we get to go 1 down the path. We're going to go ahead and give 2 food to Amanaye. How many times have I said, I don't want to give him 2 food just to change 1 spot down the path? And yet, what have I done every single time? Every single time, I've given him 2 food. It's insane. All right, so Amanaye gets us one more down the path. And then finally we get to the piranhas. And the piranhas, we throw some food. It's our final challenge. And we immediately go to the end. And we have made it to the end of the path. Again, that's two in a row. Holy cow. Wow. Golf clap. All right, so we're not going to play this again tomorrow. We're not going to combine all of it together because there's no way that I'm pushing my luck. I'm going to lose. Why bother playing it if I'm going to lose? I enjoy these little additions. I kind of enjoy the mountain path the most. The mountain path makes me... So I've always felt like this game is interesting and a lot of fun and nice and quick, too. I mean, I don't think any game here has lasted more than 30 minutes, and we're in 15 minutes right now for this video. Believe me, as somebody who would like to not be spending an hour every day recording a video, that's a huge plus. But it does kind of bug me that these all look the same. Like, if I mix these up, would you really be able to tell the difference? If I put them in a different order, it doesn't really make a difference. There's nothing about each card that matters. Whereas the mountain one, not only does it matter, but it changes every time. So there's a nice amount of variety with it. So the mountain one I think is my favorite. I do like the idea of the companions because this is such a ridiculously tough game. The other cards, so Volcana, again, she has 5 health. That's pretty much what she can help with. Komatsi basically can help you out with any expertise. And then Rinty basically allows you to get rid of a card at the end of the path. I don't think you can ever sacrifice Rinty. I think that's the big thing about Rinty is that you can never take away his last health. So if you're ever in a situation and somebody's got to lose health, it ain't going to be the dog. Because, the basic rule is, he has access to a special ability instead. At any point during a hike, you may spend 1 health token from Rinty to discard the last card in the path, unless it's the current card. You may not use Rinty to resolve the death action. So I take that back. I think you can actually kill the companion. You can kill the dog. That would be bad. I think each of these two get 3. That's not. I don't think that's explicitly stated, but I feel like that would just be. Yeah, plays 3 health tokens on each explorer and companion. Volcana is used, plays 5 health tokens on her card instead. So yeah, I like the companions. I like the mountains. I like the Mark one. It's kind of nice. It's kind of fun to imagine Teddy Roosevelt as a werewolf. There's just something kind of fun about that. I don't know if there are other expansions for this game out there. If there are, please let me know in the comments. And that way I'll know, hey, I need to go pick up some more stuff for this. Because I really enjoy this game. This, to me, much like Friday, has that enjoyable sort of like small game feel to it. Although it's not that small, you can tell how much space it's taking up. And to me, that is a huge plus. Like, I like the simplicity of it. This was a really easy game to pick up again. It's bright, it's colorful, it's absolutely wonderful to look at. But the game, and while it is ridiculously difficult, I don't feel like it's impossible. Like, it's not. Sojourn had that problem where Sojourn was just an impossible game and just did not feel fun and did not feel like you had choices. Here, this game is nothing but choices. What 3 cards are you going to play at the beginning, and what cards are you going to play in the end, and more importantly, in the evening phase, what order are you going to put them in? And I think, one of the reasons I lost an earlier game in this set of 4 is because I didn't pay attention to what was on the cards, and it cost me a... This is a little tedious, by the way. It cost me the game because I failed to notice that I was going to skip over a card that I really did not want to skip over. What others are there? There we go. Those are, I think that's almost it. Yeah, that was, I think, the only other one. So these are all the cards, and they do form an interesting little story if you put them in the correct order. The marked ones don't. The werewolf ones do not appear to tell a story. But let's see, we'll put hunted. There we go. Surrounded. I think it's roughly like every 7 or so. Narrow escape. 52 is going to go down here. 44 is over here. And 8.5. So first you've got the shipwreck. Then you are covering your tracks and you have to hide. Then the soldiers, the ships, the ghosts of the ship, are charging at you with their fearless leader De Oriana coming after you at full force. But fortunately, you managed to get a narrow escape, You just manage to hide your way out. Unfortunately, then you're surrounded by them and hunted until they raid your camp and capture you. They take you to the temple where you discover the Fountain of Youth. That is, I mean, that is excellent. That is an amazing little bit of an addition to a game here that still it manages to work well as incorporated into the rest of the deck. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking around for my little extended little dialogue there. I will see you all tomorrow for a completely different game. Thank you and good night.